So, the IRS announces that today, depending on when you're watching this video, starts the 2025 tax filing season. Agency continues historic improvements to expand enhanced tools and filing options to help taxpayers. Now, they're talking about their free tax service. This is what I want to let you know. A lot of times, free can be very expensive, especially when it comes to taxes. And if you stick around, I'll show you how you could possibly end up understanding how to minimize your tax liability by $10,000 just by getting access to experts who may understand what your scenario is specifically and can help you legally. So let's run through this article real quick, and then I'll tell you towards the end exactly how you can possibly lower your tax liability by $10,000, and that's pretty significant. That said, free file program now open. Direct file available starting January 27th, depending on when you're watching this video. That may be today, it may be later. For taxpayers in 25 states. So it's in 25 states right now. So the IRS today announced that the nation's 25 tax season will start on Monday and will feature expanded enhanced tools to help taxpayers as a result of the agency's historic modernization efforts. The IRS expects more than 140 million individual tax returns for the tax year 2024. And if you know, they do it in arrears. So basically the taxes anybody is filing this year is based on things that happened in 2024. So it's the 2024 tax year. Not to insult anyone's intelligence, but you know, that's what that is. So they're expecting it to be filed ahead of April 15th, federal deadline. More than half of all tax returns are expected to be filed this year with the help of the tax professional, and the IRS urges people to use a trusted tax pro to avoid potential scams and schemes, because you'll be surprised how many people are just jumping into the tax prep business and they don't have no business filing taxes because they don't understand tax code. And a person who does not understand tax code because they're not using it themselves definitely shouldn't be filing anyone else's taxes. That's just my professional opinion, coming from someone who's been studying taxes for a decade now in one way or another, and also helping prepare other people's tax, documents as well. So that being said, I've come across people who are just now filing taxes or just doing it to make money, and when you talk to them, you can tell that they don't thoroughly understand the tax code themselves. That can be dangerous and that can be costly to you. So just understand that. And if you want access to our group of tax experts that can show you how to lower your tax liability, in many cases, tens of thousands of dollars, but for most people, thousands of dollars on an annual basis, there should be a link available near this video. Now, the 2025 tax filing season will reflect continued IRS progress to modernize and add new tools and features to help taxpayers. Since last tax season, the improvements include more access to tax account information from text and voice virtual assistants, expanded features on the IRS site, more access to dozens of tax forms through cell phone and tablets, and expanded alerts for scams and schemes that threaten taxpayers. So that could be pretty significant. The IRS has also expanded features and availability of last year's direct file form. This year, direct file will be available starting January 27th in the 25 states. So let's go over the 25 states that it's available in at this moment. So we got Arizona, California, Florida, Massachusetts, Nevada, New Hampshire, New York, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Washington State, Wyoming. And then it also says that it will be available in Alaska, Connecticut, Idaho, Illinois, Kansas, Maine, Maryland, New Jersey, New Mexico, North Carolina, Oregon, Pennsylvania, as well as Wisconsin. So direct file will include new features this year that makes, filing the taxes quicker and easier. And even though it's a free filing tax service, like I said, it can be expensive, because this is the thing. I'm gonna just get to the point. If a person doesn't understand, or if you're doing it yourself and you don't know what tax codes that you can likely benefit from, then you're going to leave money on the table. If you don't mind leaving money on the table, okay, perfect. Proceed and, file your taxes, use the free services because you don't mind leaving money on the table. That's perfectly fine. And as you're going through these, you don't want to just be plugging and playing with numbers, because if you're doing it directly through them, then obviously they can monitor that. Even if you're just trying to see what it is that you may qualify for, then it looks a certain kind of way, because if you're playing with numbers, they're monitoring and trying to determine whether or not you're trying to do it in a legal manner. It may just look suspicious, just to be honest with you. However, if you have a group of tax experts, tax professionals that understand the tax code and know what it is that you should and should not do, and can ask you the proper qualifying questions to determine what you did the previous year, now you position yourself to have them to say, oh, you did this, you did that. Okay, you did this last year as well. Okay. You can possibly qualify for $10,000 in tax deductions, which can lower your tax liability. Then they'll require you to, have some level of records, because that is what protects you. So you can put in any numbers and get the highest refund. Anybody can do that. But what protects you is you having the records and documents to justify what you said. And you're not even having to use that per se. You just have that for your records. You save it. So in the event that that question popped up or an audit popped up, guess what? You got your documentation to show, hey, no, these were my expenses associated with this, or this is how I qualify for that particular tax credit, just depending on your scenario. So definitely do not take it lightly to get access to a team of experts. And these experts that I'm connecting you to, they're charging lower than the typical, or, most people may charge when filing taxes. They're not price gouging, but they're also giving you access to expert advice. And you're not limited to just one individual. It's a group of tax experts, and you get partnered based on your specific scenario. So based on your specific scenario, you get partnered with someone who understands your scenario the best, which can help you maximize your tax refund the best, aka lowering your tax liability. Very important. So also this year, Direct File will cover more tax situations, and they talk about all the tax situations: child independent care credit, premium tax credit, credit for elderly and disabled, retirement savings contribution credit. So it talks about all these different things, but it says the free file program opens early, and that's what this time frame is right now. So if you're in one of those states that it opens up in, consider it. But if I were you, I would get access to a group of tax experts, because I can almost guarantee that you're going to leave money on the table if you don't have somebody asking you the right qualifying questions, and if you don't understand it for yourself. Now, if you thoroughly understand it yourself, then I'm preaching to the choir. You understand the importance of having some tax knowledge in order to properly file your taxes in a way that best benefits you. But if you're not sure, if you're not clear, and you don't understand that some of the things that you did and some of the money that you spent can be reversed in the form of a tax deduction, then that's a good chance that you may need to get access to these tax experts. So there are tons of free options to file your returns, and here are just a couple of them that they mentioned, where it talks about the volunteer income tax assistance, tax counseling for the elderly, meal tax, which deals with military members, veterans, with no income limit, and then the highlights of the changes that have taken place with the IRS to help taxpayers. It basically says that the agency is working to build on the success of 2023 and 2024 filing seasons, and they've enhanced certain features. The IRS online account. So the IRS continues to add more functionality to this important tool. Individuals can create and access their IRS online account. And then with the IRS account, people can view key details, request identity protection PIN, get account transcripts to include wage and income records, sign tax forms like powers of attorney or tax information authorizations, view and edit language preferences and alternative media, receive and view over 200 IRS electronic notices, view, make, and cancel payments, set up, change payment plans, and check their balance. So it's a lot of things that a person is able to do, but a tax expert can allow you to get access to a lot of these tools as well, because obviously the IRS plays a part. No matter who's filing the taxes, it just needs to be somebody who understands it, so you can leverage the tax code to the best of your ability. It's also a new scam alert available on the individual online account, trying to minimize the scams that may come from it. Redesigned notices, mobile adaptive tax form, virtual assistance to help with refunds and other questions. Taxpayers should check the Where's My Refund, IRS.gov, if you filed your taxes and you're wondering where your refund is. Many people are aware of this. It's Googleable. If you find this article, you can just click that hyperlink where it says Where's My Refund, and it'll let you know how to go through the process. But the easiest and safest and fastest way to receive a refund is to file electronically. So just keep that in mind. Filing electronically does speed up the process to which you're able to get your refund, and many people are open to it now. At one point, people didn't want to file electronically. They'd rather do it via paper, mail it in. To each his own, whatever works for you. Now, They even say choose a trusted tax professional, even though they're telling you about the ability to file for free because they know a percentage of people will. They're also saying, look, more than half of the taxpayers turn to a tax professional for helping filing a tax return. While most tax preparers deliver exceptional and professional services, selecting the wrong preparer can lead to financial harm. This is what I mean when I say free can sometimes cost you or be expensive. And choosing the wrong tax professional or tax preparer, I say that because a professional is different from a preparer. Choosing the wrong tax preparer can be very expensive and cause financial harm, especially if they're just putting in numbers, plugging in, playing with the numbers, seeing what they can get you. And now it leads to you being put in a position for an audit with no protection because you don't have anything, no records, didn't know what they might have claimed or, wrote you. It's people that I know who have filed taxes for people and just said that the person had a daycare and gave them all types of tax deductions saying they had a daycare and put them in a position because they didn't have no damn daycare. Number one, and it's a certain level of things you got to go through in order to have a daycare. They didn't even have the things that would qualify them to claim having a daycare. So just be very mindful when it comes to who you choose. Even if it's not the tax experts that I'm recommending or that's available down in the description, be mindful when you vet whoever it is that you choose. I know sometimes people have people that they've been working with for years. If you're happy with them, awesome. But if you want access to a group of tax experts, not just one individual, then it's a link available below. But even the IRS is telling you to choose a trusted tax professional because if not, it can cause financial harm and that can come back to haunt you in more ways than one. That's all I got for this video. Be sure to check out the link if you want access to those tax experts so you can get your hands on a group of people who understand the tax code and the way that best benefits you so you can maximize your refund legally, lower your tax liability legally, and you can do that every single year because now you'll have an ongoing group of tax experts that can help you get the job done. Mr. Smith, signing out. Salute.